Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
So back. We are so back. Folks, I told you before, I think you call me crazy. It's okay. Tell me in the chat. I'm watching right now. Who is he? Edge 1776. I'm watching you guys. Tell me in the chat if you think I'm nuts. I actually think the separation of the two Donald Trump terms with 4 years of Joe Biden have created an absolute witch's brew for the Democrats, where now Donald Trump is at peak popularity because people missed him so much. In other words, what I'm getting at is, tell me if I'm crazy. If you were going to get two Donald Trump terms anyway, I'm almost at the point right now where I'd rather have it this way than the other way. Because now you had this foil effect in between of 4 years of horror. And then you have this reemergence into the political scene, reinvigorated, stronger, better, faster. And the speech last night was just the cherry on top of Donald Trump's return to the political scene. Amazing speech. Definitely one for the ages. We are back. I've got all the highlights. Huge show today. I'm just going to follow up on the big announcement we made yesterday. I'll tell you who's taking my place for the podcast. Today's show is sponsored by Beam. Go to shopbeam.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino for 47% off your first order. Today's show also brought to you by All Family Pharmacy. Listen, healthcare in America has turned into a complicated mess. You should be able to help protect yourself and your family without jumping through hoops. That's exactly what All Family Pharmacy offers. A no-hassle way to get the medications you need. Just complete the form online, and a licensed doctor provides the prescription, and your meds ship fast right to your door. You need ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, emergency antibiotics, or other essential medications? You got it. No more fighting the system for treatments that you want. Let's be real. The last several years showed us exactly why you can't rely on insurance companies to have your back. You want to be prepared for whatever comes next? Stock up now before the next crisis hits. I use All Family Pharmacy. They've been great to me, helped me on a couple of vacations I was on. They step up when the system fails you. So get help. Take control of your healthcare today. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino10 for 10% off your order. Don't wait till you need it. Stock up now. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Code Bongino10. All Family Pharmacy and its products are not intended as a substitute for professional medical treatment or advice. Consult with your healthcare provider. All right, fellas, let's go. So in case you missed yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for following Vince Coglianese on Twitter, X, True Social. I love you guys. It is Coglianese. Why would you want to follow Vince Coglianese? One, because he's wonderful. But second, because you're going to be watching him. He is going to be taking my place on this channel. There he is, smiling, hands crossed, radio pose right there. He will also be taking over my radio show. But this is the podcast audience. Vince will be going at 10 a.m. Anita, McGrind crew, P1 listeners, Bongino Army folks who've been there from the beginning. We will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That will be the live show. Vince has got a killer first week lined up of interviews that are going to blow your mind. You're going to love it. Why 10? Because our good friend Steven Crowder, one of the most popular live streamers in the known cosmos, he is going to be in the 11 hour as well. So you'll be able to stay on Rumble all day. You got Avita. You got Vince. You got Crowder. You got Haley. You got more surprises coming. You got Don Jr. You got Tim Pool. You're going to have a whole lineup on Rumble. We'll be talking more of that next week. You don't need to go anywhere. So I told you we'd take care of you. We're not going to leave you in a void of content. Now you got it all day. So thank you, Chris Pavlovsky, Steve Crowder, Vince, Haley, Avita, and to my lovely wife, Paula, for coordinating all this. We appreciate it. Big announcement. Give them a follow on X. All right. Last night, folks, what an absolute disaster for the anti-Trump opposition. You know, I can't say it enough. I am not a huge fan of James Carville, Democrat political analyst, because I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Republican. Right now, I'm in my political opinion role. I have strong opinions. I am a conservative, MAGA-oriented political opinion commentator. I don't think that's a mystery. I find it hilarious when reporters they're still reaching out, by the way. They're still reaching out. Our friend Stewie Thompson reached out to producer Jim. Dan Bongino said that. We know what Dan Bongino said. Guys, how do you think we know what Dan Bongino said on the Dan Bongino show? Because Dan Bongino said it on the Dan Bongino. We know, Stu. We know. You don't have to send us our quotes. We know because I said them. It wasn't a clone. But it's amazing how media people are stunned that a guy who has a job right now as a political opinion maker has political opinions. Crazy. However, last night was a disaster. Carville, who I don't agree with on the opinion front, says often, the old adage is, don't just stand there, do nothing. All the Democrats had to do last night, like Zelensky, all he had to do on Friday was show up and sign the minerals deal, and he didn't do it. He blew it and really screwed it up. Starting to unwind a little bit of that now, which is okay and a good thing. However, screwed it up. All the Democrats had to do last night was show up. You don't have to clap for everything. No one expects you to. I don't expect you to clap for tax cuts and things like that. I know you don't like that stuff. But when you're talking about deadly, literally deadly, serious situations like Lake and Riley, you know, you get up and you're solemn. And when you find out something's being done about that, you acknowledge it. A 13-year-old with brain cancer. Cancer is something I'm all too familiar with. You ignore it when people get up and give the young man a round of applause. I mean, really? Al Green getting up. We'll show you more of this. Al Green get up screaming like Scrooge McDuck with the cane. Do you guys even hear what he was saying? I mean, if you're going to scream, here's a little hint. If you don't have a microphone, nobody hears you. All everybody saw, pretend this was Al Green's cane, here's what they saw last night. All they heard was Charlie Brown's teacher shaking a stick at people. You really believe this is the image you want? Even Dick Durbin, longtime liberal Democrat, Dick Durbin on the Senate side, he was like, well, I wouldn't have done it that way. Of course you wouldn't. It looked terrible. And the contrast of that, and then Donald Trump projecting strength up there and pointing out who his political opponents have made a martyr out of him, was imagery I'll never forget. One of the best speeches he's ever made, reviewed overwhelmingly positive by the public. Receipts incoming, in case you think I'm making it up. Let's play this one first. Here's one that we're going to cover the highlights of the night. Here's Donald Trump talking about weaponized justice going after him and how it completely, 100% backfired. And newsflash, he's correct. Check this out.
We've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good.
How did that work out? Well, in an electoral college landslide. Folks, there's no disputing the fact that this was an electoral college landslide. You can stick to your talking points all you want. Oh, there's no mandate. He only won the popular vote by X amount of votes. In a polarized country where large, big cities in New York, California, Chicago, New York, LA, Chicago, and San Francisco move a lot of the popular vote in one direction, that's not an effective argument to make. You're losing. You're losing because you're not listening to Carville. Don't just stand there. Do nothing. Really. The line of the night, of course, was this. The border was a big issue. The border's turned chaotic. The open border has resulted in a fentanyl crisis, a child sex trafficking crisis, a logistics crisis, an illegal immigration crisis, a gang crisis, a public safety crisis. The open border under Biden was a disaster. There is no question this probably sunk the Democrats along with the economy. So you would think, again, that the Democrats would get up and at least applaud some measures being taken to secure the border because it's almost a universally popular issue right now. Nope. And Donald Trump took the perfect opportunity to tell you what I was telling you the entire time. The Immigration and Nationality Act allowed the president, whether it was Biden or Donald Trump, to shut the border to classes of illegal migrants for any reason, for any amount of time. Look it up. Joe Biden just didn't want to do it. And Donald Trump, in the line of the night, made sure he pointed that out. Whoever wrote this in the speech, I don't know who wrote this, Stephen Miller or one of the other guys. Oh, my gosh. And you're right. This may be a Trump improv moment. This was the line of the night. Check this out.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
What's the Bongino rule? What is it? Folks in the chat, where am I going with this? Get ahead of me. Come on. Yeah, Guy beat him to the punch. Guy's dropping dimes right here. Yes. I'm going to see if anyone, because sometimes the chat is a little bit delayed. I'm like, yes, who did it for, oh, man, you guys are just so many people, and I got to get the first one. Oh, man, I missed it. But you guys you're all getting it. Sound bites and snapshots. You guys are the best. Here, DS Buscemi, that's a snapshot. You're damn right. Sound bites and snapshots. And which one did Donald Trump have last night? Sound bites or snapshots? Trick question. He had both. I'm messing with you. Imagine the snapshot of Al Green screaming with the cane. No one could hear him. The Senate, the House Sergeant at Arms, they had to remove him while he's screaming Scrooge McDuck style, while Donald Trump's at the podium with the smirk, and J.D. Vance is giving him the, I don't really care, Margaret side-eye. Do you have this? Yeah, you know what? We got to play this. I didn't really intend on playing this, but it's perfect. Okay, you got this. You got the soundbite of the night. There were tons of them, but that was definitely numero uno. This is for the snapshot. This is all people are going to remember on the snapshot side. Check it out.
Take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair.
Folks, JD gives them the old heave-ho thumb. The snapshots and sound bites. You guys listen, you all are the most amazing, fantastic audience because you guys learn so quick. I was a quick learner too. I absorbed everything with politics really fast. That's why we went from one career to the other and moved right away. Snapshots and sound bites. Look at this. Look at this. Man, did you catch that at the perfect time? Mike Johnson's looking like, I can't believe I got to deal with these knuckleheads. Trump is smiling like, man, you guys just gave me a snapshot gift because he knows it. And JD's giving him the old... Guys, Trump's face, look at his face. Hey, guys, I know you guys are meme lords out there. Somebody put that up on X and Truth and just bump that thing around, man. That's up there with... Listen to me. To my Apple and Spotify crowd, I love you. You guys were there from the beginning. We didn't have video in the beginning. But please, you got to watch it. Go to 14 minutes into the show. You got to see that, where Guy stopped that. That is the greatest snapshot ever. What's that line they put on Twitter? Oh, yeah. Zelensky with the and JD and Donald Trump checking him out. Guys, they say hang it in the Louvre. Hang it in the Louvre. Hang it in MoMA in Manhattan. That is just a beautiful picture. That is what politics is about. You starting to see it now? When you woke up this morning, right? It was a really deep, detailed speech last night. But let's be honest. I mean, even you and I, who are MAGA supporters, and we get it. This is what we do. We follow politics, at least me for now. How much of the speech policy-wise do you really remember? I'm not trying to knock anybody. Don't take it the wrong way. All right, it was 100 minutes long. But you do remember that. You will fully understand politics when you embrace that and tattoo it on your brain. Right direction, wrong direction. President Trump highlighted this last night as well. This is important because once you start talking about big global pictures of leadership, you want to make sure that American citizens who are responding to the president feel like they're responding to his policies by saying, yes, I think we are headed in this direction rather than the wrong one that way. This was smart for him to highlight this. Check this out. V15.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Again, we got to go there again. What's the soundbite there? Wait, before I even get to that. I love how President Trump puts an accent on ever. Most ever. Just to kind of let it stew a little bit. He floats it out there and lets it kind of dwell in the ether. I love that. And then what's his political opposition doing out there? They're booing as Donald Trump is talking about how the American people feel a renewed sense of optimism. How do you think that sounds and looks? The answer is pretty horrendous. Is that really the snapshot and soundbite you want? I don't think they've thought this through. This is why I'm always encouraging you to not get emotional about politics. Passionate, but not emotional. There's a difference. All right, I may be picking nits, but passionate means it bleeds to you. It matters to you. Emotional means, for me at least, it means you let your emotions overtake reason. That's what happened last night. The Democrats had a moment tactically to sit back, look like they were cooperating on issues where there's some supposed agreement. They didn't do it. They chose to boo and hiss. You had cancer patients. They're sitting on their hands. I tell you in the most objective manner possible.
The most ever.
Ever. The most ever. Most objective ever manner possible. It was a total disaster for them politically. They just did not embrace snapshots and sound bites. And don't ever repeat the mistake with them. We're not going to win every political race ever. Ever. Sometimes it's just best to sit back and do nothing. They didn't do it last night. Folks, one of the things about President Trump that I find, he's not afraid to inject humor. Did you hear him with Elizabeth Warren last night? That was a classic. But last night, there was an opportunity to highlight an ongoing problem. Inefficiencies in our Social Security system that have led to excess payouts, people who may be dead getting money, people who are older getting Social Security. They are a powerful set of American citizens. They vote, they've worked their whole lives, they built this country, and listen, they're reliant on this product called Social Security. No matter how badly it's been mismanaged, we can't just pull the rug out from under them because they paid into this program and feel justifiably so like, hey, I get my money out. I don't blame them. You'd feel the same way. So Donald Trump took an opportunity last night to use a little bit of sarcasm and humor to highlight an ongoing problem there. And sometimes, these guys here know where I'm going with this, because we had this conversation. Sometimes humor and sarcasm, which we are quite fond of here, can be some of your best weapons. Alinsky said it too. Ridicule, your most potent weapon. Here's funny Trump last night. Check this out.
According to the Social Security databases, our age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Again, I don't think that was in the prompter. I'm reasonably confident it wasn't. It was just an opportunity to kind of break up what's a very serious moment with a bit of sarcasm and humor and use it as a potent ridicule weapon like Alinsky recommended, who is a liberal activist, by the way, because there's no comeback to it. He's, of course, talking to HHS Secretary Kennedy. Nobody does it like him. Nobody. People have been as good, nobody better. He is really, really good at this. And he really made fools out of his opposition last night. Had a lot, serious moments, lighthearted moments. You want to take people on an emotional roller coaster. It makes them feel alive, like they're part of something. I want to contrast that coming up next. And hat tip Maze Moore in advance. Great account. Mazemoore on X. Great videos. He had the lowlights of one of Joe Biden's State of the Union addresses. And I want you to see the contrast between the two, because contrasts matter too. Diamonds look nicer on a very specific background, even though it's the same diamond. You'll see what I mean coming up next. Patriot Mobile. Together, you and I have been fighting for the same thing. Freedom, liberty, and the country we love. One of our biggest supporters over the years has been Patriot Mobile. They stuck with us through thick and thin. If you're part of the Bongino Army, you should be on Patriot Mobile. We need to keep supporting companies that share our values and stand for what we believe in. You can switch to Patriot Mobile with confidence, knowing you'll get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all 3 major networks. Not only do you have a guarantee from Bongino here, that's me, you'll get the Patriot Mobile coverage guarantee. Remember, every dollar you spend supports a company who believes in the First and Second Amendments, sanctity of life, and our veteran and first responders. Switching's easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. The 100% U.S.-based customer support team will help you find the perfect plan for you, even your business and your family. So go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month of service with promo code Dan. Can't think of a single reason you shouldn't be on Patriot Mobile? Check them out. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Next sponsor today, ammosquared.com. Do you remember the great ammo shortage of 2020? Shelves were bare, even online options were wiped out. Well, there's a company in Idaho helping to make sure that never happens again. It's called Ammo Squared. They've been helping over 80,000 members get their ammunition automatically since 2015. Here's how it works. You sign up, pick your ammo from over 70 different calibers, set an auto-buy budget, choose a shipping trigger. Over time, your ammo accumulates and is stored for free in Ammo Squared's climate-controlled warehouse until you're ready to ship. What a great idea. No minimums, no extra fees. It's perfect for small budgets or anyone who wants to build up a stockpile without spending thousands or hundreds of dollars up front. Choose from over 70 calibers of ammo. Set your budget. Let Ammo Squared do the rest. Ammo Squared is a smarter way to stockpile ammo. Set it and forget it. Ship it when you need it. It's the easiest way to stay prepared without the hassle. Head on over to ammosquared.com. Take the work out of buying ammo. 80,000 members and thousands of 5-star ratings. Can't be wrong. That's ammosquared.com. Check them out today. Must be 18 or older and not prohibited from possessing ammo. Must be 21 for handgun ammunition. Thank you, ammosquared.com. Back to the show. Contrast what you saw last night. Funny Trump, serious Trump, confrontational when necessary Trump. He just knows how to take you on a roller coaster. Everybody needs to feel like life is living, like we're involved in this. You don't want to listen to Charlie Brown's teacher up there. Contrast that with this State of the Union from Joe Biden with the mask-wearing people in the background. Of course, they probably still believe these things work and stop COVID. Check this out.
We have to do more than just build back better. We have to build back better. Scientific breakthroughs took us to the moon. Now we're on Mars, discovering vaccines, gave us the internet, and so much more. Installing 500,000 charging stations along our highways. So let's end cancer as we know it. I spent a lot of time with President Xi. Traveled over 17,000 miles with him. I think you should be able to become a billionaire and a millionaire, but pay your fair share. I've made it known that America's back. If we act to save the planet, we can create millions of jobs. With regard to Russia, I know it concerns some of you, but I made very clear to Putin, he understands.
I guess not. I guess he didn't understand. Snapshots, sound bites. What's the snapshot there? He's talking with mask-wearing people in the background who sane Americans realize those things are useless. It is a show device. It is a prophylactic mechanism that engages in no prophylaxis whatsoever. What do you... Thank you, guys. There's your snapshot right there. There's your snapshot. Compare that with President Trump and JD giving Al Green the old get out of here, heave ho, as he's interrupting this, looking like Scrooge McDuck. Oh, man, this can't get any better. I'm telling you. Look at that. Now, look at that. There you go. What a contrast. Look at those two pictures. This stuff matters in politics. If you don't understand it, please do me a favor. Don't get into politics. It's okay. You may have a different skill set. Maybe you're a good football coach. But if you don't understand how this imagery matters, you're in the wrong space.
Take your seat, sir.
Look at this. What a disaster. And they complained about Joe Wilson with the "you lie" thing. Maybe we get this Al Green screaming. Now, listen, anybody can say, hey, the speech was great. I mean, obviously, while I'm still in my political opinion role, I have a strong opinion about it. I do, however, try to be objective. I mean it, serious time, okay? It doesn't do me any good. as a supporter of this movement we have built over the years, to lie to you. If it was a garbage speech, I'm obligated to tell you. I mean, I wouldn't call it garbage. I'd be nice about it, but I would still tell you, and we need to work on that. Last night was spectacular. It really was. It was also, and I think objectively bad, horrendously bad night for his opposition that just decided to embarrass themselves. I don't know why. They're usually smarter than this. But those are opinions. Back it up. Okay, here it is. Here's CNN, so I can't be accused by Stewart or anyone else who doesn't like us in the media, and we have a lot of people who don't like us, as I'm finding out. Here is CNN discussing a poll where 69% of Americans had a positive reaction to the speech. 69% of Americans. You can't get near 70% of Americans to agree on anything. That's how good of a speech this was. Check this out.
The results. What was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative.
Now, I get it. Where am I going with this? There are some people out there who are like, Dan, you said 69% of positive reaction. Yes, Michael was a math major. Play the clip again on Rewind. You'll see what I mean. Some people are confused. Not you. I promise you there are people confused going, I don't get it. I know you don't. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Michael, help him out. Sometimes we text Michael. When my daughter has a math problem they can't figure out. Michael's like, boom, right away. He never forgot his math. That's pretty good. Here, you want to put the screen up?
What was your reaction to Trump's speech?
Let's see if can we figure this out if you're a Bongino hater?
Tonight say they had a
Michael gets it. He'll help you. Text him. Here's his number. You imagine that? Your phone would totally blow up. That'd be oh, man, the RNC, man. Remember that? Oh, my gosh. I had to change my digits after that. I couldn't take it. I'm sorry. It was just what a meltdown after that. All right. This is, again, one of the highlights of the night. And, folks, this is where President Trump, I believe, is a different brand of Republican politics. Let's be honest. Outside of Reagan, there hasn't been really a national Republican or international Republican figure who has really got his finger on the pulse of how people really work than Donald Trump. And I think it's due to his business experience where he's had to deal with everyone in New York, from mob people trying to squeeze his construction sites to unions to city officials for labor contracts. He just has to know how people are feeling. This was a really amazing moment. Obviously special to me, having been a former Secret Service agent myself. It was a very nice thing to do. I texted Director Curran this morning from the Secret Service, and I said, hey, man, really great job with the young man. Here is Donald Trump calling out a 13-year-old battling brain cancer. They made him an honorary Secret Service agent. This was really nice and definitely worth checking out.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Good for you, Sean, President Trump. That was a very nice gesture. And by the way, total snapshot there. Total snapshot. That commission book, that thing you see like in the X-Files, FBI, that looks like a real commission book. I have one. I was looking around for mine, but since I didn't even say it. Sorry, I don't mean to get off track. This is the last day in the studio, so there's almost nothing here except for the, like gizmos people send, a couple on the desk, and that's really it. I was going to show you my commission book. That looks like a real commission book. That's pretty cool. So good job, Director Curran. Hey, man, this stuff matters. You know what? It's the government. It's serious stuff. But this doesn't, it takes but a moment to make government employees we pay for, whether it's Director Curran, the Secret Service, or the FBI, we don't have to be stiff. There's nothing wrong with being relatable. There's nothing wrong with that at all. We're there to serve you. It's public service. Public service. We work for you, not the other way around. This government operates by consent of the governed. We work for you. And there's nothing wrong with showing a human side to even a United States government enterprise like the Secret Service or elsewhere. So nice job. Folks, I told you, the media response, the media meltdown to the first term, and now the early days of the second term and the early days of the second Donald Trump victory have been borderline hysterical. But I'm going to tell you something, and again, I say this putting on serious Dan Bongino hat here. The response to this 13-year-old young man with cancer by Nicole Wallace last night at MSNBC is one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen in media. I'm going to tell you something. I don't speak for Fox. I never did, even when I worked there. But this is the kind of thing where if you were on your Fox News show and did something like this, where you tried to tie a 13-year-old with brain cancer to January 6th and what happened at the Capitol, I'll tell you right now, there's no doubt you're getting a phone call. And they'd be like, really? Really? I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take a break quick here, and I'll get back to it. And I think you'll agree. This is one of the worst moments I've seen in the anti-Trump losing their minds media in a really long time. Brick House, are you one of these up and down yo-yo dieters? You lose weight, gain weight. You wind up with a condition, you wind up being really skinny, but simultaneously holding a lot of body fat at the same time. You look terrible, and it's really, really unhealthy. It's dangerous. It can increase your risk of a heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and health problems. Break free of the yo-yo diet problem. It's a real issue. That's one of the reasons as a product I use. I lost 30 pounds or so. I was like 238 around. I'm around 200 now. But at the time I was on lean, I lost this 30 pounds. I lost it slow and deliberately and preserved a lot of my muscle tissue. I love the product. Lean is a supplement. It's not an injection. You don't need a prescription. The science behind lean is amazing. Its studied natural ingredients target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar. It helps control appetite and cravings. And it helps burn fat by converting it into energy. So if you're tired of losing weight and gaining it back, and you want to lose meaningful weight at the healthy pace I did, and obviously keep it off, look, you see me now for a year, Lean was created for you. Let's get you started with 20% off when you enter DAN20 at brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. That's code DAN20 at brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. These statements and products are not been evaluated by the FDA and not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or condition, not a substitute or alternative to care for a healthcare provider. And yes, media people, that's called an ad while we still have a job. It's an advertisement for a company. And yes, I do like the product. Yes, I like to be healthy and I like to lose weight. They seem confused by that. What's that? Guy wants to know if I like sleeping. Why would you say that, Guy? Oh, look at that. It's just an advertisement for, and I actually use it. Amazing. I've had a Helix mattress for several years. I do. I got to buy another one now. They got to move. I've definitely noticed how great I'm sleeping through the night. Helix Sleep's an award-winning mattress brand. It's the essential reason I wake up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle a new day. No more tossing and turning. If you're dealing with snoring, sleep apnea, back pain, or even if you sleep too hot, Helix has a mattress option for you. Visit helixsleep.com/Dan and get started. You know, a good night's sleep is one of the best ways to have a better quality of life, and Helix mattresses can help you figure out which mattress will work for you. I had a pretty hectic schedule. Tell me about it. After a long day of work, I always look forward to sleeping on my Helix mattress. So many of my listeners are sleeping on Helix now. It makes a big difference in their lives. Right now, get Helix's best offer available, exclusive for my listeners, 20% off site-wide. That's right. Just visit helixsleep.com/Dan to get 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/Dan. Thank you, Helix. All right, back to the show. This is one of the worst moments I have ever seen in the media in response to Donald Trump, recognizing a 13-year-old with brain cancer. This is an analogy you never make. Check this out.
And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then lived to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Folks, do you understand the level of derangement you have to have and the hatred for Donald Trump? Excuse me, to take from a story of a 13-year-old with brain cancer having his moment as an honorary Secret Service agent. He's not going out there protecting the president. They didn't issue him a firearm last night. It was obviously meant to be a lighthearted moment to celebrate this young man and his battle with this potentially and sometimes likely terminal disease. He's 13. And you took out of that let me see. You're on the show. You're like, what do my viewers at MSNBC want to hear tonight? I've got an idea. You ever hear Jesse Waters' joke on the 5 where he says permission to make an analogy? They do that because the running joke is analogies can go wrong really quickly. They can. And you got to kind of be careful on the air. You don't make light of something. So that's kind of where that comes from. Give you a little inside baseball. Nicole should have asked the same question. Permission to make an analogy here to January 6th. And I think even the crazies over there would have been like, I can tell you for sure, Guy and Mike will be like, they'd be behind the scenes like, no, yeah, Guy would be like, did you sleep well last night? Like, yeah, how are your eye? Do you need an eye cream? Guy would stop he may even cut out of the show. There are things you just don't do. This is a young man at 13 who's been through a tragedy in his life. Your viewers, look at this. There's the picture. I mean, you got director Curran. Just enjoy it. You think that sorry, guys. I can't imagine watching this program on MSNBC and thinking, I really hope somebody makes a January 6th analogy. Like, what? Oh, my gosh. They have this title, You Just Don't Hate the Media Enough. I guess not in this case. I can't imagine a worse moment. I don't care about Nicole Wallace. I don't do media boycotts. It's a waste of everybody's time. Just telling you, if someone at NBC doesn't call her up and be like, you really need to apologize, I would be astonished. It's just a terrible moment. Here's another awful moment last night. Democrats, of course, refusing to shake hands with President Trump's cabinet members. Members of the cabinet, show some respect. It's not hard. I don't get this. Oh, Dan, what would you know about that? Gee, I don't know. I was an agent for Barack Obama. When you leave the detail, I don't know if you know this. When you leave the president's detail, you have the opportunity to take Oval Office photos with your family. I took them. Barack Obama was the president of the United States. I have the photos. They're not hanging all over my house, but I have them. I didn't say, no, I'm not taking the pictures. You just shake their hands. What's the big deal? No. Guy's like, here, let me shock everyone. Breaking news. Everybody is in a work environment out there. If your workplace has more than 2 people, like you and your wife, right? Which is a lot of small businesses, mid-sized, and certainly large businesses. Everybody goes to work with someone they don't like. It's a good point. Guy and Justin can't stand each other. It was like a UFC match in here the other day. Michael had to break it up. It was like a rear naked choke going on. Guy had the leg hooks in. I was like, guys, this is like an HR problem. We can't have this in the workplace. There's not even a mat on the floor. But he does it anyway. They give each other a high five and get the show done. No, apparently not the Democrats. Watch this. Check this out.
Look at what's happening. The Democrats are not even acknowledging the cabinet right now. I just don't remember that being standard. At least they would get up and shake their hands.
Just the visual here that
they're not engaging. This is not a pathway forward to bipartisanship.
How bad does it have to be where CNN's like, yeah, I'm not really sure this is a winner? You just shake their hands. This isn't complicated. Folks in the chat, someone like, did Guy really? No, okay, they're united. They're united against me on the Star Wars front with the ongoing drama over Rogue One. They're the best of friends. They love each other. And it's whenever you mention Rogue One, it's like a unity moment where they both fire bombs against me. I mean, it's really ruthless, too. You would think this company was called Guy and Justin Inc. The way they don't even care. Like, yeah, I signed the checks, whatever. Doesn't matter. No respect. Like Rodney Dangerfield. No respect. I gotta have fun, guys. I gotta have fun. I gotta put my serious hat on soon. Got serious things to do. Not leaving you without a smile. I was just telling Avita that this morning. I said, man, we're gonna laugh a little bit before this wraps up. Hey, Don't let me, wait, I know I got the Joy Behar clip. Did you see the Joy Behar clip? What Joy Behar clip? Hey, stand by. This is the last day in the studio. The last day. We had some good moments here. You know, we had some good moments, but good moments at bad times. I mean, Guy, you and Michael, remember when President Trump was shot in the head? I'm calling him on the phone. I'm like, guys, we got to, he's like, what do you want to do? Like, I think we should just go live. And, you know, we didn't know too much other than he was obviously shot in the head. But we came in, we knocked out a show. And then when President Biden said he was leaving the race, I'm like, we got to do it again. And so many shows here, the coverage after Election Day. So if everybody, you got the waving emoji guy, throw one in the chat. And I know it's just a place. It's, whatever. But it's not that. It's that we had the memories, and the memories are going to be tied to this place. It's just four walls and a floor. But the emotions around it are tough. This is the last podcast we will ever do from here. Tomorrow's show, you will see, will be from the new studio, and we're going to give it, yeah, there you go. Yeah, man. You guys going to miss this place too? I'm going to show you something. This is just, this thing here. It's just a TV, man. Can you do the two-shot there? Yeah, look. There, you have Oscar winners and nominees. Anyone want to watch a TV show in the back? That's all this is. The new studio, we got New York City bricks in the background. You'll see them later. Real iron pilings, bookcases, fancy lighting, all this other stuff, multiple sets. Here is just basically a converted apartment. I'm going to miss this place, so sorry, guys. Didn't mean to divert off the topic. Yeah, look, zoom out. Look, gizmos. This is Guy's little Lego guys here. The rhino. Was that Jen Psaki? We got the clown. We got this is, and then you're all like cards people have given me, including Guy. This is Justin People's Elbow, Guy Karate Man, Bucky Dent, my favorite baseball player. Someone gave me the Bucky Dent card. Oh, I'm gonna miss this place. A lovely young lady gave me this Spongino thing. I try to keep everything, folks. Once in a while it gets lost in transit, but here's one more too. I was doing a book signing in Oklahoma. The Tulsa Police Department Special Ops Team. That's a pretty badass patch right there. And then hat tip Danny Boy O'Connor, House of Pain. Gave me a little House of Pain thing, signed my tape and cassette. So last show from here. Goodbye, studio, old studio. Welcome in the new. Emotional. Maybe cry a little bit. Just kidding. We'll miss you, though. The show tomorrow. So you're going to tune into tomorrow's show? See the new studio for the first time? The guys, by the way, have been busting their ass. I want to thank them. But it is, when I say a new studio, I mean it's a whole new setup. Everything. The electronics, everything. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit tomorrow. So if there are some snafus in tomorrow's show, I hope you guys are cool with it. All right? Because we're doing this no matter what. Okay, back to the show. Sorry about that. The View has always been, I'm going to miss this, by the way, because once I put my nonpartisan government service hat on, my opinions are going to stay inside. I've got a job to do. Raise my right hand. I plan on doing it in a nonpartisan manner, obviously, or I wouldn't accept the job. So I'm going to miss The View because it is a source of ongoing content for the show and humor. Here is Joy Behar, again, with the ridiculous argument that Donald Trump's win was not some kind of a landslide. It was in this hyper-partisan environment. And she tries to bait Stephen A. Smith into it. Stephen A. Smith, who acknowledges he's not even a Trump supporter, kind of looks at her like, really? Did you follow what just happened about 2 months ago, a little less than 2 months ago? Check this out.
And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
I want to pile a quick tactical point onto Stephen A. Smith's commentary there to Joy Behar, who's just sitting there speechless as Stephen A. just rattles off a series of accurate statistics, by the way. Folks, you have to understand all of this was done, the Donald Trump resounding victory, swing states, a movement of minority voters and elsewhere, and other things as well, which he just mentioned. This was all done in a political, use the buzzword, the ecosystem, whatever, where the entertainment community, largely the sports community, the music community, the acting community, the academic community, the corporate environment was, certainly the media environment, which is obvious from that last segment, was all tilted to the Democrat side. Let me, here, analogy for you. Permission granted. Thank you. It's like going into a boxing match where you have 20-ounce gloves on. Your opponent has chainmail, has headgear, a chainsaw, and a blowtorch, and you win the match, and you win it by decision. You get where I'm going with this? The context matters. People might say, well, that wasn't an impressive victory. He only won by a split decision. Yeah, when you factor in the opponent had a blowtorch, body armor on, and a chainsaw, while you had 20-ounce gloves and a hand tied behind your back, it's pretty darn impressive. That's a pretty good analogy. That's what's going on here. Donald Trump had the mechanisms of government law enforcement weaponized against him. There's no question about that. None. Media, I just went through the whole list. The entertainment community, all of them, calling him all kinds of vicious, horrible names. And he still wins every single swing state and the popular vote. I think that's worthy of an impressive landslide mandate title. Donald Trump did something last night. President Trump did something very impressive last night, too. Folks, when you're in a debate with someone, what do they call this? This has a name. It doesn't matter. But there's this technique people have in a debate. And I'll drop this on you and put it in your little toolkit. When you're debating someone on any issue, one of the most effective things you can do is say I'm debating Guy about Rogue One, right? Guy loves Rogue One. Me, I'm getting there, but I'm not sold yet. What you say to people is, let me make the case that Rogue One is not the best Star Wars movie. But here's what Guy is going to say. It is one of the most effective debating tools. Why? Anybody know in the chat? Because when Guy says it, you look smarter, not him, even if the point he makes is genius. Why do you look smarter? Because you look like you're able to predict the future. You do. You look like, my gosh, you're in Guy's head. But keep in mind, you're not really, let me relate it back to politics. You always know what a Democrat's going to say about tax cuts, right? No matter the tax cut, they probably hate it, correct? So you don't have to be the Stygian witches or, Karnak from the Johnny Carson show to say, my opponent here is going to say he hates these tax cuts, and here's why: the rich should pay their fair share. That you saw Biden say it before in that State of the Union thing. Why do you know that? Because they always say that. It doesn't take a genius or a super genius. But when you say it to an audience, you look more impressive. Here's Donald Trump last night, beautifully employing this debating trick right there when he says, no matter what I say tonight, the Democrats will not get up and applaud. And then, in fact, they didn't. And he looks very pressured for doing it. Check this out.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
You see that? Listen, man, it's a free country. I am an avid, firm, passionate supporter of the First Amendment. Speak out. You don't like Donald Trump, say what you got to say. But you can't. Everybody who thinks this guy is some kind of, unhinged, whatever, you're totally missing the forest for the trees. He does these things like this because he has a natural kind of instinct for this political back and forth. That is, people do that in debates all the time. And then what happens? The camera pans over, and he's absolutely right. No one's responding. No one's clapping for even the good stuff. Hey, America's back. The Democrats, sitting on their hands. Employ that in your debates, and you'll see it is an unbelievably effective tool to disarm what your opponent's going to say before they even say it. I want to bring this up again because I don't want to miss it. I only have a few shows left. We got next week, March 14th, be the last podcast. After that, Vince Colonnese will be taking over. I promise you're going to love him. He will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be an interview-based show. He has the best guests. He has tremendous access to people. He has an unbelievable show. He'll also be taking over on radio as well. There was a question from the audience. Is Vince going to be streaming the radio to Rumble? I'll get you answers for all this stuff, I promise. As you can imagine, given this opportunity presented by President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel, I didn't have a lot of time. So we're still working through this with you. I'm not going to lie to you. The show is authentic for a reason. When I don't have an answer, I'm not sure yet. I will get that for you. But I can tell you this. The Haley Show, rumble.com/Haley, Hayley, is happening. Evita's show has already been going, rumble.com/Evita. Vince's show is happening at 10 a.m., and I will get you more of the details. It should be on this feed here as I transition out. So you won't have to do anything. All you have to do is watch. Bongino Army, thank you again. I want you to know my wife and my daughter and I are trying to read as many emails as we can. I got one last night from a 70-year-old grandmother who loves the show and told me how she, was not big on watching stuff on the internet before we started and now is hooked. I got your message, and it means the world to me. I wasn't big on watching stuff on the internet either, and now look what happened. Thank you guys so much. I'll be doing the radio show here in just a few minutes on Rumble if you want to tune in. And I will be back here from the new studio tomorrow at 11 a.m. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. You should just watch in case it's a total train wreck. Just watch. It'll be fun. We can watch it while lights fall down. It'd be crazy. It won't. He's like, will there be a public execution? No, it's okay. I had to rush him. I couldn't help it. All right, enough for me. See you in the radio show in a little bit. Back here tomorrow.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show.